Brought back Veronica. Why they keep bringing her back? They build her up as this all-holy relationship guru. You cannot make a relationship work for yourself. Possibly one of the shows in the 90-day universe has been canceled, and Jasmine apparently has a new gig that she received payment for, or at least that's what she'd have you think according to the clickbait headline. But we will get to all that. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends. I appreciate all the support. We will be back next week with our recaps. Thank you for continuing to tune in. Y'all are amazing. Now, apparently, Jasmine has revealed what her first payment... You see, as soon as you see first payment in quotes, you know that it's probably some sort of clickbait headline, because that's basically saying, first payment, ha ha ha, joke, joke, not real. From a shocking new job in America. So you're thinking, oh, maybe she's doing, selling herself online, which would not be shocking if she's not already doing it. Or, I don't know, maybe she's trying to get into modeling. That's usually what they also do. But no, that is not the case. Apparently, she revealed what has happened in that she has taken on a whole nother job as a culinary expert, apparently. So she moved in with Matt, and they appear to have a strong friendship, blah, blah, blah. He's basically being played. He's basically had she carries his testicles around with her. So, good for her, I guess, for basically neutering the man, but whatever. Their relationship seems to be more just friends. She frequently cooks Matt and shows off her culinary skills on social media. So it's a dual purpose. She'll cook for him, but it's really just to gain clout and gain following on social media, trying to be an influencer. Most recently, she posted on Instagram showing a thoughtful gift for Matt as a token of appreciation for her delicious meals, apparently. She shared a picture of an anti-wrinkle mask and a skincare tool that Matt had given her, jokingly referring to it as her first payment for her chef job. So as you can see, the clickbaits are real with this one, trying to say she had a new job, but in reality, it's she's cooking, getting Instagram clout, and he gave her skincare like a skincare regimen as, her payment. Although, was he trying to say something? Did you have some blemishes or something? I don't know. It might be a little bit more than that. But either way, it's clearly a headline trying to get you to click on the article. That is the epitome of clickbait. So, win for you, I guess, because you got me to click on it. But whatever. Either way, it's kind of cringeworthy and kind of, it's just like, it's Jasmine to the T. Not really shocking. But we do have a 90-day fiance that might be canceled, and that is not necessarily clickbait. It is speculation, though, so we will see what they have to say about that. Now, of course, this is an opinion piece by Neha Nathani, I'm not sure. A new person coming into the fray that we're going to talk about their articles. But every year the spinoffs, we know they had the new one this year with Hunt for Love. Single Life was one from years past. They have Happily Ever After. They have the original 90 Day Fiance. They have Before the 90 Days. So they have several. They've already canceled some in the past. So the Family Chantel. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, how long was that really going to last? I mean, they had the whole thing with her and Pedro, and their relationship fell apart. And then, how much are you really going to follow up on just Chantel's family? Are they that interesting? And really, Chantel's kind of cringeworthy if you really watch her for a long period of time. So it wasn't going to last really so long. 90 Day Fiancé self-quarantined. I mean, how long was that possibly going to last for real? And 90 Day Fiancé, HEA Strikes Back. I don't know what the HEA Strikes Back are. Happily Ever After Strikes Back. I don't remember that one, but obviously it didn't last. So the Single Life, that's the one they're talking about. They're confused. This person is confused about why they might cancel the Single Life, but the reason why they think it might happen is it's been kind of out of conversation for a while. You haven't really heard any cast members talk about it since early 2024. You haven't heard anything about it. So that generally means that they probably aren't bringing something back. Could they? Sure. Usually you'll see an actual cancellation. So I don't know if it's actually been canceled, but they might be gearing up for it. But according to, the kind of positive feedback, it'd be a kind of a surprise if they actually canceled it. Now, with the last 90-day one they had, Tyree was one that, it was sad to watch because he had been catfished all these years, and it was someone that really, it was a catfish. So it was someone just trying to get money out of him and all that. And it was sad because the poor guy, he seemed like a really nice guy. So I really did feel bad for that one, actually. So that one consisted of Miss Miss Debbie. That one was cringeworthy with Muhammad. Natalie, of course, bye, who cares? Deborah Johnson, I don't remember which one Deborah was, but they all contributed to drama throughout. Natalie's just, whatever. They brought back Veronica. They're constantly bringing in Veronica, Tim's best buddy and ex or whatever. And I'm like, why do they keep bringing her back? I mean, she's kind of like, they build her up as this all holy relationship guru. They bring her on for commentary and stuff. I'm like, you cannot make a relationship work for yourself. So bringing you on and then trying to follow your story, which is pretty uninteresting. Yeah, I don't need to see all that. So they try to do that and it just doesn't work. And apparently none of it has really worked. So now, although they say it's got positive feedback, that could mean a few social media people, that could mean some diehard fans, doesn't necessarily mean the show itself is producing anything that is longevity-wise is going to last. So obviously, there's a good chance they're not going to bring it back, but no official cancellation, so we will see how that plays out and what actually happens with it. But, if it comes back, it comes back, and then we'll see who they got going on. They'll probably have some of the same people again who can't seem to find love, but yet they build them up as people who are relationship gurus, who just know everything except when it comes to themselves. Then there's Darcy, who decided to talk about what her relationship with her sister Stacy is. Now, the problem with these articles, a lot of these when they talk about this, whether it's US Weekly, Entertainment Weekly, whatever, is they basically say a headline and then they give you a whole bunch of background on what's going on in the show and then say what the headline was at the very end. Basically says since the show wrapped, Darcy is happy to report that she's in a great spot with Stacy. So it's like, you think it's going to be drama because they're going to say, oh, they're fighting, because leading up to that they say, oh, we fight, we have drama, it's the way we are as sisters, is our relationship. But yet then, oh, they're in a great place. Apparently Stacy's in Albania with Florian currently, so apparently she's still with Florian. That hasn't fallen apart, but they're in a good place. But the more interesting thing when it comes to Darcy and Stacy is what Darcy said, what she's considering. She's considering a make-under. So maybe they finally realized that all the makeup, all the surgeries, all of that stuff isn't something they need to continue on, because they're starting to look insane. They're starting to look crazy. They're starting to look like some made-up doll that's not even real, and not a good one at that. Darcy's considering a different kind of makeover after turning 50. She says, I'm loving life right now. I'm on this longevity journey. Probably getting injections all in your face and getting implants and all those things aren't going to lead to longevity. So I feel like at some point I might do a make-under. Sometimes less is more. My mind's set different. I feel different. I feel happy, and I'm just excited for what the future holds. She said I'd go smaller in the breasts, so maybe like a size or two down towards the end of the year. We just came back from Turkey not too long ago. We did a brow lift, and I'm loving the results. So maybe at the end of the year, maybe I'll head with my twin sister Stacy and do a make-under for the boobs. So it's funny because she starts talking about a make-under, says less is more, and then she just got done saying, right after that, or right after she said that, she said, I just got a brow lift. So clearly she's not taking what she's saying seriously already. And even if you reduce your breasts, I mean, like, okay, that's fine. Maybe, you want a little bit smaller, whatever. But you still are getting all that stuff injected in your face. You're still getting lifts on your face, getting cut, nip tucked, all that good stuff. And it's just not healthy for you. It's not good. It's making you look crazy. You're saying you love the results. Great. Everyone else thinks you look like a crazy cat person. So maybe you don't care what people think, and that's fine. But let's talk about health. Let's forget about what people think and that you look insane. Health-wise, it's not good for you. Going under all these procedures that you don't need, these elective procedures, to get a certain result because it's cosmetic, is just something that is just jeopardizing your health. And then on top of that, continuing to shoot Botox and fillers and all that stuff in your face that you clearly are getting, also not good for your health. So maybe she needs to take her own advice a little more than she's doing right now and kind of try to tone it down even more so. Speaking of plastic surgery, then you have Larissa dos Santos Lima, which she has confirmed some of her different surgeries. So she set the record straight on her complete plastic surgery history. So the whole history, including having knee liposuction and 3 Brazilian butt lifts following years of speculation. I mean, I don't think it was speculation. I think people just knew and she just didn't admit to it. I've had lipo on my knees. Who gets lipo on their knees? Their thighs, tummy tuck, BBL 3 times. So knees, I mean, you could not possibly had much fat on your knees. That was just a complete crazy procedure, unneeded, to have a little, probably a very little bit of fat sucked out of your knees. That is dumb, and it's just incredibly stupid. I removed the BBL and got a butt lift. I got 2 boob jobs, fat removal, lipo in my chin, and I think that's it. So I removed the BBL and got a butt lift. So, okay, so she got a different kind of butt lift, I guess. I got 2 boob jobs, fat removal, lipo in my chin. You did not have anything crazy in your chin. Come on. And I think that's just about it. Oh, is it that? Is that it? Is that all you got? And she got a nose job. She forgot. I also got a 6-pack Vaser lipo. So the 6-pack thing where they do the liposuction there is they suck fat around your abs, trying to show them more present. Look, all of this is easy, quick fixes. None of it is a trade-off for hard work. Most people who get surgeries, whether it's cosmetic, whether it's, the stomach surgeries and things like that to lose weight, using drugs that they're injecting in themselves, it is not a substitution for hard work. Because the reality is if you don't change some of your behaviors, if you don't start eating better, if you don't start working out, if you don't start kind of, just completely changing the things you've done in the past, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to last. You're going to be back where you started, or you're not going to be really healthy anyway because you don't know how to eat and you don't know how to work out. Guess what happens when you exercise? Guess what happens when you eat right and eat a good diet? You start to see those results, and they're longer lasting because you're developing new behaviors and new routines that are going to help you in the long run. There is no trade-off for hard work, but people are so used to getting that instant gratification. Again, this is the addict behavior. Maybe it's not drugs, but it's that same kind of instant gratification addict behavior that so many people are showing these days because it's available to them. They would rather have something quick, even if it's dangerous, even if they're not changing anything they do, than just to actually think, hey, I need to buckle down. I need to get my willpower in check. I need to have some people be accountable with me, have an accountability coach, whatever it may be. It's just not a good situation we're in. And they talk about it so willingly, like it's no problem. Like, yeah, I had this, that, and the third. You spent probably $100,000 on all those procedures, and yet it's all good because you like the results. Until you don't, and you have to get more plastic surgery, more liposuction, more whatever. So it's kind of appalling that we are here as a society, that people just don't care about hard work. Because let me tell you something, if you want to lose a little bit of weight, if you want to get healthy, if you start eating right, if you start working out, that doesn't mean any hard, crazy weightlifting workouts, just some minor workouts and eating right. Especially if you do it for a couple weeks and develop that habit, you are going to feel so much better, and it's going to be so much easier to maintain that habit because you've done it for a couple weeks. So I challenge anyone who is trying to get in a better place with their health or anything to just try. Just say, I'm going to commit myself to these 2 weeks. I'm going to work out 3 times a week, whether it's cardio, whether it's weightlifting. Weightlifting's great, and I think you really need to add that onto it, but at least cardio. And then you're going to, commit to a diet. You can get a diet plan online. It's very simple to, whatever, if you really don't know where to start. I'm going to commit to it for these 2 weeks. See how you feel after those 2 weeks. If you don't feel right, if you want to go back to where you were, guess what? The stuff you were eating before is still going to be there. You can go back to it. Or you can be like, hey, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better, and I like this. That's my challenge to any of y'all who want to change your health, because I've been there. I've been 300 pounds. Been there, done that. It's no fun. And once you get down to a better weight and get in shape, oh my gosh, man, let me tell you, even mind clarity is so much better. So, a little bit of a soapbox, but I just want people to be healthy and do it the right way. And I see these kind of things with these plastic surgeries, and it's just not the right way, and it's not creating long-term results for them. So thank you for joining me. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends, and I will see y'all next time.